Hello recorders, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Steven. Well, I've been wanting to talk about this for some time now, like actually 2 years actually, but I've been wanting to find the right time to talk about it, but I feel like now's the time more than ever. My experience moderating the Ned's Declassified reunion, remember that?
This is live.
Oh,
I got one in a heartbeat.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, take it.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. It just came out on Netflix, and I'm so excited to watch it again.
What?
That show has a million life
good?
lessons in it.
Bro,
Yeah, Aang, the greatest
The
ever.
best.
Now, if you don't remember this, I don't blame you, and that's the thing. I don't want people to remember this, because I'll be honest, I'm embarrassed of how things turned out. Like, I admit, I fucked up really bad, where I felt like I could have done a better job moderating that panel. And one of the reasons why I feel like I want to talk about it now more than ever is because, well, the first time I thought about talking about it was when Ned's was on Netflix, and it started, blowing up again, and especially with the cast doing their podcast, and I felt like it was inevitable. Like, eventually, I gotta talk about it. And after having this pep talk I had with one of my dear friends, Angeleah, who I love so much. Like, I love her. She's just fantastic. And especially how, at our job, she mentioned the Ned's cast, and I'm like, fuck! I feel like I gotta talk about it one day. Let's go back to the beginning to how I got involved with this. Well, let's see. It was back 3 years ago when COVID was at the peak. Like, it was starting to rise, and I was thinking, like, what am I gonna do with all the Comic-Cons canceling? And I had no work. Like, I had no idea what the hell I was gonna do. So I swallowed my pride and I was applying for some retail jobs. I saw that Wizard World was gonna be hosting a Ned's Declassified reunion. I was thinking, like, hey, what if I moderate that? Because, I'm such a big fan of the show. I, know the show from, the back of my head, all the key moments and whatnot. And especially how, I remember around this time, Devin Werkheiser, he would go on his Instagram talking with the fans. And I would, sometimes take a little jab saying that, hey, how's Loomer these days? So I sent an email to the folks at Wizard World's, offering my services. I heard back from them, and I talked to one of their guys, and then it eventually led to it. And sure, I admit, I was just really nervous, because I was, my first time really moderating something, and I felt like the pressure was on, and I felt like, when I look back at that experience, or even my older interviews, I suck. I know. I suck. I feel like, sometimes I was wondering if I just have imposter syndrome. Just because I was getting all this work doesn't mean I'm that good at it. Right after the panel, the folks told me that they would email me afterwards, and I never really got an email. Of course, I think they meant, sure, they were asking me for my social media to tag me on the stuff, and I felt like, what did I do? I felt like, could I have done better? And I remember a couple of the Ned's cast replied to me on Instagram, Cookie said that, nice meeting you, and that kind of stuff. And Mo, she actually followed me, and then she unfollowed me, which I feel like after that little incident that happened with her on TikTok, where she was just, reevaluating her Instagram, I think she started unfollowing people, and I think now she only has, less than 100. But it's I don't mind. I wouldn't mind if the Ned's cast hates. Nah, I can't be thinking of that shit where they say that they hate me or whatever, or they, sometimes I'll even wonder if they will even remember me. Now, if you're wondering, did I ever ask the Wizard World if I could host another panel? No, and it's not because maybe they would let me or not. It's not because of that, because right after that little incident, I, heard back from one of the jobs, and I got an interview. So I went over, got hired, and I'm eternally glad I made that decision, because, doing this job, it's I felt like, it's helped me improve a lot as a person. It gave me the, confidence to, talk to people again. And I felt like that's just what I needed. And I feel like that's one of the reasons what helped me improve myself as a person ever since COVID started. I feel like, I'm talking more better. I have, better confidence. And, I'm not embarrassed to show people, my weird, bombastic energy. And it's that was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And I'm so thankful for that job. And especially, well, some people will know this, that job is where I met my partner, Jamie, and now I'm not saying I'm a married man, but I've been in one of the most healthiest relationships of my life for 2 years now, and I'm so thankful for that job. It's because it's helped me become a better person. Even Jamie's helped me become a better person. I mentioned this, that in November of 2020, me and her had this really bad argument. I was so embarrassed of that argument, but in the end, Jamie was just trying to help me, and I felt like, after having some, an epiphany, that I, started realizing that she's right and I'm wrong. And since then, I've been living by sort of this code where it's not about me, it's you. Or, wait, how do I say this typically? Hold on. Right now, it's not about me, it's about you. And it's I just have to listen to my partner and hear what she has to say. And I was I've been living by that for so long. That's the thing about growth. Hey, when you look at that video, sure, you see me in my bedroom and it's look at me now. Like, I have this private studio. Like, I didn't have this room at the time. And then, like, you know, working that job, I started, you know, having the money so I can, you know, like, improve myself, my brand and everything. And overall, I've just been improving myself as a person. And for that, I'm just so glad. And I feel like, you know, we always need to learn to talk about our growth, which is very important, especially like, you know, people that watch that video, they think that, ooh, like, sure, it may cause a bad impression if you're not familiar with my work, but it's like, hey, watch it, like my content now. I mean, I've been evolving ever since, you know, 2021, you know, when everything started opening up again. And it's like, you know, I'm able to do the cons again. I'm able to, you know, travel further. I mean, I've been going to Texas, Salt Lake City, Portland, like all of this stuff. Like, I could not have done that back in 2020. I could not have. Now, as I mentioned that my friend Angeleah was the one that, you know, inspired me to finally, you know, talk about this. Like, that's another thing. Me and her, we were in my car and we were just opening up and talking to each other, like stuff that's been bothering us. Like, sure, like, when I reply to the haters in the video saying that I'm in a much better mindset today than I was then, well, I'm not in a good mindset right now. I am not. Why? Like, everyone knows this, that every day, all who's on my mind right now is just Jason David Frank. Like, he is the only thing that's on my mind right now, especially his death. It's something that I'm never gonna get over. Like, something I am never gonna get over. Like, sure, I told her about how, you know, JDF inspires me to be fearless. Like, that's like, you know, all he ever wanted for people was to, you know, be fearless. And that's what I feel like, you know, I can't be scared of, like, my past. I gotta learn to embrace it. And I felt like one of the reasons why I felt like I decided to go to Wizard World in Portland, because, you know, it's being run by the same people at Wizard World, and it's like, I cannot hide from this no more. It's time to face them head on no matter what. And I feel like that's something that JDF would have wanted from me. Final note, what I really want to wrap this up with is how it's okay, like, you know, to try things, and like, sure, it may not go the way you want, and just remember that you are surrounded with people that can help you with your growth. And it's like, when I look back at that experience and how, you know, like my life was pre-COVID, like, I was in a really bad state. Like, I feel like if it wasn't for this COVID, who knows what kind of a person I would be today. Like, I don't know. And especially for that job that I ended up doing, like, it really changed me as a person. And I feel like I'm in it, sure, even though JDF's not with me right now, like, I feel like I've come a long way since then. And I'm forever grateful for the people that have been around me in this whole journey. And for that, I'm just really grateful. And if I, you know, ever get in touch with the Ned's Cast, I'll be happy to tell them about that. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Recorders, please hit that subscribe button, comment down below, give me a like, and remember, I'm on Cameo if you like a special shout out for me, and catch you next time!